All right, today we're diving into a really powerful idea, the sanctity of the labor force. We're going to look at the core principles and the global efforts that are designed to protect every single worker everywhere.
So, let's just kick things off with a pretty big question. What if a workplace was more than just, a place to get things done? What if it was something deeper, something truly central to our lives and our communities? That's really the core idea we're going to unpack.
And the whole thing really starts with the individual. We're calling this first part a foundation of dignity, because when you get right down to it, any conversation about workplace safety is first and foremost about people.
This quote, it just sets the stage perfectly. It tells us right away that workplace safety isn't really about regulations or paperwork. Nope, it's about two much bigger, non-negotiable ideas.
Dignity and life. See, these aren't just words. They're the bedrock of this entire concept. This principle argues that a person's inherent worth and their very existence have to be the top priority. Everything else, and I mean everything from productivity to profits, has to come second.
So this is the big idea behind the sanctity of labor. It completely reframes how we think about workplace safety. It's not just a legal box to check. It's a fundamental human right. It's a moral promise that says every single person deserves to go home from work just as whole as when they arrived. Okay, so once you establish that foundation of individual dignity, the effect, well, it just naturally ripples outward. So let's take a look at how protecting just one person actually helps in building stronger communities. And there it is, the direct connection. A workplace isn't some isolated island. It's like a vital organ inside the larger body of a community. And its health, or lack thereof, has consequences that go way beyond the company parking lot. And you can see that ripple effect so clearly here. An unsafe environment doesn't just hurt individuals, it chips away at trust, it creates financial strain, and it weakens the entire social fabric. But on the flip side, a safe, supportive workplace, that becomes a pillar for the community. It creates stability, and it strengthens those bonds that hold everything together.
So, if this is so critical for all of us, how do we actually make it happen? Well, it takes a unified global voice. This is where we get into the nuts and bolts of the collective action needed to make these principles a reality.
The approach here is really practical and powerful. It's not just about reacting after an accident happens. No, it's about proactively creating an environment where they're way less likely to happen in the first place, and about empowering the people in that environment.
And this difference is so important. Prevention, that's all about the system. It's about engineering hazards out of the equation before they can even become a problem. But awareness, that's about the culture. It's about giving people the knowledge and the power to speak up and stay safe. And you absolutely need both. They have to work together.
And holding this whole global effort together are three core values. Think of these as the rallying cry that brings organizations, governments, and people together for the shared mission.
Let's break down these three R's. First up, rights. That's the non-negotiable, fundamental entitlement every person has to a safe work environment. Simple as that. Second, responsibility. This one's huge because it's a shared duty. It's on everyone, from the very top down to each individual, to maintain safety. And finally, resilience. This is about being able to prepare for, withstand, and bounce back from crises. Together, they create this really strong, interconnected framework. This brings us to our final section. And this isn't just about keeping things as they are. It's about making a real promise. It's about a commitment to the future, to all the generations of workers who are still to come.
The most important word here is pledge, right? That one word changes everything. It turns a vague hope into an active, serious promise. It's a call to action, and it has three clear parts. So this three-part pledge is basically a roadmap. It starts with the here and now. Ensure safety by taking real action today. Then it broadens to value health, which includes both our physical and our mental well-being, and the ultimate goal, to secure futures, to build a lasting legacy of safety that will be there for years and years. And that really is what this is all about. This entire global effort is about making a promise and making sure that the dignity and life of every single worker is protected, not just this year, but for all the years to come. So, we'll end by turning this right back to you. We've talked about these huge global ideas, right? But in the end, it all comes down to the individual. So think about it. What does a safe, dignified, and secure future at work actually mean in your life? It's a question definitely worth thinking about.